can we really find holiness in our daily actions? How can holiness go beyond religious ceremonies and become part of our everyday lives? This question invites us to look deeper into how we live day by day. Often we associate holiness with grand acts, religious rituals, sacred ceremonies, or moments of deep prayer. But what if I told you that holiness doesn't have to be something distant or unattainable? What if it's actually woven into the very fabric of our daily routines? The simple, ordinary moments of our lives could hold the deepest expression of holiness. Holiness isn't something that only exists in sacred moments or rituals. It isn't reserved for religious leaders or moments of intense prayer. In fact, we can feel the holiness in the simplest daily actions, from how we treat others to how we take care of ourselves and the world around us. Every interaction, every choice we make can hold a divine presence if we choose to live with intention and mindfulness. Holiness doesn't have to be grand acts or dramatic gestures. It can be found in small, subtle moments: a smile offered to a stranger, a kind word to a colleague, or a moment of self-care where we honor our own well-being. Holiness is not just in the big moments of life. It's in the everyday acts that reflect compassion, sincerity, and kindness. It's about the small gestures that come from a deep place of love, respect, and awareness. When we infuse our actions with these qualities, we create a life filled with spiritual significance, no matter how ordinary the action may seem. By embracing this, we open ourselves to a life that is not just about external success, but about cultivating a deep sense of peace and purpose in the present moment. Every action, no matter how seemingly mundane, can become an opportunity for spiritual growth when we choose to bring holiness into it. In this video, we're going to explore the true meaning of holiness in everyday life. We'll dive into how each of us can experience and live with holiness in our daily actions, no matter how small or simple they may seem. We'll look at how actions as simple as showing kindness, practicing patience, or taking care of ourselves can be seen as acts of holiness, bringing us closer to living a more meaningful and spiritually aligned life. We will explore what holiness really means in the context of our everyday lives, removing it from the realm of the distant and sacred, and making it accessible to everyone. We will provide practical examples of how to bring holiness into our daily routines, whether it's through our relationships, work, or personal practices. We will inspire you to find holiness in the smallest actions, showing you that no act is too small to be filled with love, compassion, and purpose. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to get more meaningful content on living positively and with holiness in everyday life. By subscribing, you'll join a community focused on making every moment of life an opportunity to live with more intention, grace, and love. When we think of the word holiness, many of us immediately associate it with religious practices, sacred rituals, or divine figures. It's easy to imagine holiness as something lofty, reserved for the spiritually advanced or those deeply immersed in religious traditions. However, holiness is not confined to these grand moments or specific practices. Holiness is a quality, a spiritual state that each of us can embody in our daily lives. It is not just an attribute of saints or prophets, but a universal quality that can be developed and expressed by anyone, regardless of religious background. At its core, holiness is about inner purity, a state where our thoughts, words, and actions align with our highest values and deepest sense of goodness. Holiness is not about being perfect, but about striving toward the highest good through compassion, patience, kindness, and sincerity in everything we do. Holiness can be seen as the expression of unconditional love for all beings, a love that does not discriminate, that shows compassion to everyone regardless of their actions or beliefs. Holiness is found in small acts of kindness, the thoughtful moments when we pause to show care, and in the times when we act with empathy. Holiness is not defined by grand gestures alone, but also by the seemingly ordinary and everyday actions that reflect a pure heart. When we help a stranger smile at someone in need, or take the time to listen to someone's concerns, we are manifesting holiness. Holiness does not reside in temples alone, it resides in the hearts of those who practice compassion and kindness in their daily lives. Holiness, then, is the conscious choice to live in a way that brings us closer to the divine, whether that is the universe, a higher power, or the most authentic version of ourselves. It is a state of being where we act with integrity, authenticity, and love, honoring the sacred in all that we do. It's important to remember that holiness is not a destination, but a journey, a continuous process of growth and self-improvement that involves learning, evolving, and striving to live in harmony with others and the world around us. Now let's explore why holiness is essential in our daily actions. While many of us might recognize the importance of holiness in religious or spiritual practices, we often overlook how it affects our everyday lives. But living a holy life isn't about reserving sacredness for special moments. It's about making every moment sacred. Holiness enhances the quality of life. Living with holiness means choosing to interact with the world through a lens of compassion and kindness. The simple act of being mindful of others, whether it's through a smile, a kind word, or a gentle gesture, creates a ripple effect that can make the world a better place. When we live with holiness, we begin to create an environment of positivity and care, not just for ourselves, but for others as well. For instance, helping someone in need, whether it's offering your seat to someone on the bus, helping a colleague with a task, or simply asking a friend how they're doing, creates a ripple of goodwill. These acts may seem small, but they build a sense of community connection and mutual support. This in turn reduces feelings of loneliness and isolation and contributes to a more harmonious environment. When we treat others with respect, understanding, and compassion, we foster a positive environment that benefits everyone. Living with holiness also helps to reduce stress. The more we engage in holy actions such as being patient, forgiving, or giving, without expecting anything in return, the more we cultivate inner peace. This peace is not only for the person receiving the kindness, but it also benefits us as it helps us remain grounded and calm amidst the challenges we face. Holiness helps center us and keep our hearts aligned with our highest values. The more we practice it, the more we experience a profound sense of fulfillment and satisfaction, regardless of external circumstances. Holiness is a source of positive energy. Another vital aspect of living with holiness is the positive energy it generates. When we act with holiness, we not only impact those around us, but we also create a positive energetic field that contributes to our own well-being. Think about how you feel after doing something kind for someone, or after offering a listening ear to a friend in need. These actions don't just help others, they nourish our souls. Acts of holiness serve as reminders of our deeper connection to humanity, to the divine, and to the universe. They help us remember that we are part of something bigger, and that our actions matter. Holiness brings about a sense of inner peace and satisfaction. When we make choices rooted in compassion, sincerity, and love, we experience a deep sense of fulfillment. It's the kind of fulfillment that doesn't depend on material gain or external validation. Instead, it arises from the joy of living in alignment with our highest values. Moreover, living with holiness helps us stay present in the moment. The busyness of life often pulls us away from the present, causing stress, anxiety, and a feeling of disconnection. However, when we focus on embodying holiness in our daily actions, we slow down and become more mindful. Whether it's taking a moment to be present with someone enjoying a quiet moment alone, or choosing to respond with compassion rather than impatience, we can create a life filled with meaning and peace. Holiness isn't just a lofty ideal, it's something we can feel and practice in every part of our lives. Here are a few real-life examples of how we can embody holiness in everyday actions. 1. Helping someone in need. Whether it's giving someone a ride, helping a colleague with a project, or offering a hand to a stranger carrying heavy bags, simple acts of help can be powerful expressions of holiness. These gestures reflect a deep respect for others and a willingness to contribute to the well-being of those around us. 2. Listening sincerely. Sometimes one of the most holy things we can do is to simply listen. Taking the time to really hear someone without judgment or distraction shows that we value and care for them. This act of active listening fosters understanding and creates a sense of connection that goes beyond words. 3. Showing patience during challenges. Life can be challenging, and moments of stress or frustration are inevitable. However, holiness can be expressed through patience and self-control. Whether it's dealing with a difficult situation at work, managing a personal crisis, or navigating a challenging conversation, choosing to respond with calmness and grace rather than frustration or anger reflects the essence of holiness. By practicing patience, we transform a potentially negative situation into an opportunity for personal growth and positive interaction. 4. Kindness to ourselves. Holiness also begins with how we treat ourselves. This includes taking care of our bodies, nourishing our minds, and showing ourselves compassion when we fall short. Self-care is an act of holiness because it acknowledges our intrinsic worth and our need for rest, healing, and personal development. Whether it's through quiet time, meditation, exercise, or simply taking a break when we need it, self-care is a vital expression of holiness. 5. Mindful choices. Holiness can also be expressed through the choices we make on a daily basis. This includes being conscious of how we treat the environment, how we use our time, and how we engage with others. Choosing to live mindfully, choosing kindness over judgment, and choosing sustainability over waste all reflect the integration of holiness into our everyday decisions. Holiness is not a concept reserved for specific rituals or special occasions. It is a living, breathing quality that we can express through every action, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. By practicing kindness, compassion, patience, and sincerity in our daily lives, we cultivate a life of holiness, one that brings peace, joy, and fulfillment, not only to ourselves, but to the world around us. As we move forward in our daily actions, let us remember that holiness isn't something we have to wait for. It is something we can embody now in every interaction, every choice, and every moment. Holiness is not just something that exists in sacred moments or distant ideals. It can be felt and expressed in our everyday lives. It's a quality that, though often associated with religious rituals, can be integrated into every action we take, from the smallest gestures to the more significant choices we make. Holiness is not about waiting for extraordinary moments. It is about finding the sacred in the ordinary. This section will explore how we can feel and embody holiness in our daily lives, focusing on small everyday actions that lead to a life of spiritual fulfillment and peace. The foundation of living a holy life begins with the simplest and most often overlooked aspects of our existence, our personal well-being. Holiness begins with how we treat ourselves, as it is impossible to radiate positivity, love, and care for others without first nurturing ourselves. Self-care is not just a buzzword, it is a fundamental practice in creating a life that feels aligned with the divine. Taking care of ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually is one of the first and most profound ways to experience holiness. When we commit to taking care of our bodies, we honor the physical vessel that allows us to move through the world. Eating nourishing food, getting adequate sleep, exercising, and practicing relaxation are all ways we care for ourselves. But beyond these physical acts, emotional self-care is just as important. We must be kind to ourselves, forgive ourselves when we make mistakes, and offer compassion in moments of self-doubt. Holiness arises when we recognize that our well-being matters, that we are worthy of love and care. This inner respect forms the foundation for being able to offer the same to others. Furthermore, holiness in everyday life is seen in the way we treat others, especially in our personal relationships. Love and respect are at the core of all holy actions. Many times we might think of holiness as grand gestures like acts of charity or deep spiritual rituals, but in reality it's often the small everyday gestures that reflect the true nature of holiness. Simple acts, truly listening to someone, respecting their opinions, or offering a kind word of encouragement can have a profound impact on those around us. These actions demonstrate the holiness of connection, the way we honor each person's inherent value and dignity. In relationships, whether they are romantic, familial, or professional, small acts of kindness and understanding are expressions of holiness. For instance, when we actively listen without judgment, we provide the other person with a space to feel seen and heard. When we offer patience instead of frustration, we demonstrate that we value the relationship over being right. And when we show care for others, even in moments of stress or difficulty, we create a positive and loving environment where holiness can thrive. Living with holiness means that we choose to infuse our relationships with love, patience, and respect. It's in the simple things when we care for others in a meaningful way we experience holiness in those moments. These small, thoughtful actions create a deep sense of connection and reinforce our shared humanity. Holiness is not limited to private moments or spiritual practices. It extends to the work we do and the tasks we complete on a daily basis. Every action we perform, no matter how big or small, can be an opportunity to practice holiness. Work, whether it's a job, household chores, or daily responsibilities, can be infused with holiness when we approach it with dedication and purpose. Work is often seen as something we do simply to earn a living or fulfill obligations, but when we do our work with dedication and integrity, we elevate it. Holiness in work comes from recognizing that what we do has meaning beyond the task itself. Whether we are performing a large-scale project or tackling mundane tasks, we can bring attention, care, and focus to our work. When we give our best, regardless of the task's scale, we are honoring the sacredness of life itself. Holiness isn't in waiting for the right circumstances to act, but in making our everyday actions sacred through our intention and commitment. When we dedicate ourselves to doing our best, we demonstrate respect not just for the work, but for the people and communities that our actions impact. We live with the understanding that every task, no matter how trivial it may seem, contributes to a larger purpose. This approach fosters a sense of responsibility and pride in everything we do. It's about bringing our full presence to our work, whether it's helping a co-worker completing a project or keeping our home in order. Each task is an opportunity to express holiness through dedication and service. In addition to our dedication to work, holiness is also manifested in how we treat others through acts of kindness and generosity. This can be as simple as helping a colleague, sharing our knowledge with someone in need, or giving our time to those less fortunate. These small gestures of helping others can be the most profound acts of holiness we engage in. It's about living with an open heart, ready to share whatever we have, be it time, resources, or love, without expecting anything in return. Helping others can also mean contributing to our communities, whether by volunteering, sharing our expertise, or offering support to those in need. When we practice generosity without expecting recognition or reward, we're expressing holiness in one of the most direct ways possible. This helps us create a community that thrives on mutual respect, care, and love, which reflects the sacredness of human connection. Life by its very nature presents challenges, obstacles, and conflicts. However, it is in how we respond to these challenges that we can most clearly express holiness. Holiness is not about avoiding difficulties, but about how we navigate them with grace and serenity. It is in the moments when things go wrong, when we feel frustrated or upset, that we have the opportunity to choose holiness. Maintaining calmness and patience in moments of stress is one of the clearest expressions of holiness. Instead of reacting impulsively or emotionally, we can take a moment to breathe, step back, and respond with understanding. This requires inner peace and self-awareness, two essential elements for embodying holiness in everyday life. In stressful situations, we can practice tolerance and forgiveness. Holiness in these moments involves accepting that we are not perfect and that others are not perfect either. It's about practicing compassion for ourselves and others. When we respond to challenges with patience rather than frustration, with understanding rather than judgment, we're embodying holiness in our everyday actions. This ability to maintain calm also comes from developing a mindful approach to life. Mindfulness allows us to stay present in the moment, which is key to reducing stress and staying balanced. When we are mindful, we are less likely to be overwhelmed by emotions or distractions. We can observe our feelings without being consumed by them. allowing us to respond with clarity and compassion. Holiness' essence is about living with intention. It is about making choices each day that reflect our highest values and deepest commitments. Whether it's in how we treat ourselves, how we care for others, or how we approach our work, holiness is not confined to specific moments or grand gestures. It can be found in the smallest, most everyday actions. By practicing holiness in the small things, we open the door for more sacredness to enter our lives. It's in these everyday actions that we discover the divine presence in the world. By approaching life with mindfulness, compassion, and grace, we begin to live more fully in alignment with our higher selves. Holiness isn't about perfection, it's about making the effort to align our actions with goodness, love, and kindness. The small acts of holiness are the building blocks of a life that feels connected to a greater purpose, where every action has meaning, and every interaction becomes an opportunity to express love and care. The more we practice holiness, the more we find that it is woven into the fabric of our daily lives, making every moment sacred. The practice of holiness in our daily lives does not just affect the immediate moment, it has profound, lasting impacts on our overall well-being, relationships, and personal growth. When we begin to embody holiness through acts of kindness, mindfulness, and integrity, we not only enhance the quality of our own lives, but also contribute positively to the world around us. Holiness is not an abstract or distant goal, but a practical way of living that brings peace, connection, and purpose into everything we do. This section explores the various benefits that come from practicing holiness in our daily actions, focusing on the positive effects on our soul and spirit, our relationships, and our personal development. One of the most profound benefits of practicing holiness in our everyday actions is the positive impact it has on our soul and spirit. Feeling holiness in the small, simple moments of life brings a deep sense of peace and satisfaction. When we engage in acts of kindness and compassion, our spirit is lifted, and we experience a profound sense of fulfillment. These positive actions align us with a higher purpose, helping us feel more centered and connected to the divine, or the greater energy that flows through the universe. Acts of holiness, whether it's offering a helping hand, listening with empathy, or simply practicing patience, lead to a more peaceful state of mind. The simple act of doing good can release positive emotions that enhance our overall mood and well-being. Kindness, compassion, and generosity are not just beneficial to the recipient, but to the person offering them as well. Each act of goodness serves to calm the mind and promote emotional healing, reducing the negative impact of stress, anxiety, and frustration. When we make the conscious effort to practice holiness, we foster a sense of inner peace that transcends external circumstances. We learn to approach challenges with a calm, open heart instead of reacting impulsively. This inner serenity becomes a cornerstone of spiritual growth, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of who we are and our connection to the world around us. By living with holiness, we create a positive atmosphere in our minds and hearts that radiates outward to everyone we encounter. In addition to inner peace, practicing holiness helps to cultivate a deep sense of purpose. When we make decisions that are rooted in compassion and kindness, we live more authentically and with more intentionality. Holiness infuses our actions with meaning, allowing us to live each day with a clear sense of direction and fulfillment. This sense of purpose can be particularly powerful in times of adversity, as it gives us the strength to persevere and rise above challenges with grace. Through daily acts of holiness, we open our hearts to a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. Holiness nurtures our ability to love unconditionally, not just others, but also ourselves. It creates a pathway to self-discovery, helping us understand our true essence and connect to the deeper, more sacred aspects of life. One of the most immediate and tangible benefits of practicing holiness is its effect on our relationships and living environment. When we embody holiness in our interactions with others, we contribute to a more harmonious and loving atmosphere. The kind and sincere actions of each individual create a ripple effect that strengthens the collective experience. Whether we are interacting with family members, friends, co-workers, or strangers, our acts of kindness and compassion have the potential to transform the dynamics of our relationships and communities. When we practice holiness, we begin to see the inherent worth and dignity in every person we meet. We treat others with more respect, patience, and understanding, which fosters stronger, deeper relationships. By listening to others with empathy, honoring their perspectives, and offering support when needed, we create a safe space for people to feel heard, loved, and valued. These actions help to build trust, connection, and mutual respect, which are the foundations of any meaningful relationship. Holiness in relationships is not just about the big gestures, it's about the small, everyday actions that show care and love. Active listening, for example, is a simple yet powerful expression of holiness. When we listen attentively to others without interruption or judgment, we show them that we truly value them. This act of being present is an essential part of building trust and connection. It opens up a deeper level of communication and understanding, creating a bond that is grounded in empathy and mutual respect. Practicing forgiveness is another critical way to bring holiness into our relationships. We all make mistakes, and at times others may hurt us. Holiness is reflected in our willingness to let go of resentment and forgive those who have wronged us. Forgiveness frees us from the burden of anger and pain, allowing us to move forward with grace and peace. It helps heal rifts and misunderstandings, bringing us closer together and strengthening our connections with others. When everyone in a community practices holiness, the entire environment becomes more unified, peaceful, and loving. Acts of kindness, understanding, and forgiveness create an atmosphere of cooperation and goodwill. The collective energy of a group of people who are committed to living with holiness can transform a community, whether it's a family, workplace, or society. This environment encourages people to support each other, nurture relationships, and work together toward common goals. In the broader context, the world itself becomes a better place when individuals consistently practice holiness. Imagine a society where everyone listens with compassion, shows kindness without expectation, and treats each other with respect. This world would undoubtedly be more peaceful, just, and united. By practicing holiness in our daily lives, we contribute to the creation of a more loving and harmonious world. While the immediate benefits of practicing holiness are clear, its long-term effects on personal development are equally profound. Holiness isn't just something that enhances our lives today, it shapes us into better, more compassionate individuals over time. Through regular acts of holiness, we become more patient, compassionate, and insightful, growing into people who are deeply connected to their own humanity and the world around them. One of the most significant long-term benefits of practicing holiness is the development of patience. In a fast-paced, often stressful world, the ability to remain calm and composed in the face of challenges is invaluable. Holiness teaches us to slow down and be more mindful, allowing us to respond to situations with thoughtfulness and understanding rather than reacting impulsively. This patience not only helps us navigate our personal lives with more grace, but it also helps us develop deeper empathy for others, which is essential for healthy, supportive relationships. Holiness also helps us cultivate compassion, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. As we practice kindness and empathy in our everyday actions, we begin to see the world through others' eyes. This heightened awareness fosters a sense of connectedness and unity with the people around us. We become more attuned to the needs of others and more willing to help those who are struggling. This sense of compassion enriches our relationships and contributes to a more empathetic, caring world. Additionally, holiness encourages us to become more insightful in our personal growth. When we regularly practice mindfulness and reflection, we begin to gain clarity about who we are, what we value, and what our purpose in life is. This introspective journey helps us develop a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world, allowing us to make decisions that align with our highest values and deepest aspirations. As we grow spiritually, we become more self-aware, able to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and understanding. Finally, Practicing holiness fosters a strong sense of self-worth. When we treat others with kindness and compassion, we also develop a deeper sense of love and respect for ourselves. Holiness encourages us to honor our own inherent worth, which allows us to embrace our flaws and imperfections with grace. This self-compassion strengthens our inner resolve, helping us to live authentically and pursue our highest potential. The benefits of feeling and practicing holiness in everyday life are profound, far-reaching and transformative. Holiness impacts every aspect of our being, our soul, our relationships, and our personal development. When we live with holiness, we experience greater peace, inner fulfillment, and connection to ourselves and others. We create an environment of love and compassion, which fosters deeper relationships and builds stronger, more harmonious communities. The long-term benefits of practicing holiness extend beyond the present moment, helping us grow into more patient, compassionate, and insightful individuals. Holiness is not a fleeting experience but a lifelong journey of personal growth and spiritual fulfillment. By integrating holiness into our daily lives, we contribute to the creation of a better, more loving world, one small action at a time. Holiness is not a destination but a way of living, an ongoing practice that shapes who we are and who we become. Holiness is often thought of as something distant or reserved for sacred moments, perhaps grand acts of worship or profound experiences of connection to the divine. However, as we've explored in this video, holiness is not a static state. It is a daily practice that can be woven into every aspect of our lives. It is about consciously choosing to live with intention, to express love and respect in all situations, and to bring kindness, compassion, and understanding into everything we do. Holiness is not about waiting for grand gestures or special moments to arise. It's found in the small yet meaningful actions we take every day. From the way we treat ourselves with care, patience, and self-compassion, to how we interact with others with empathy, kindness, and respect, holiness is about embodying a way of living that elevates every interaction and every choice. The most profound acts of holiness are not always the big visible moments. Rather, they are often the quiet, unseen acts. Whether it's listening attentively, being patient, or showing generosity without expectation. Every time we act with goodness, love, and sincerity, we are inviting holiness into our lives. Ultimately, holiness is about how we choose to approach every moment and how through these choices, we create a life that feels connected, purposeful, and spiritually aligned. Holiness is not just a concept, it's a practical reality that can be integrated into our daily routines, bringing deeper meaning and peace into our lives. I encourage you to start seeking holiness in the simple actions of your everyday life. Look for opportunities to practice kindness, love, and respect not only toward others, but also toward yourself. It can begin with small steps, taking care of your own well-being, offering a kind word to someone, or practicing patience in moments of stress. These actions, though they may seem small, are the foundation of a life lived with holiness. By incorporating these practices into your daily interactions and experiences, you will find that holiness doesn't need to be something far off or unattainable. Instead, it will become a natural part of who you are. Practicing kindness, loving yourself, and respecting others will allow you to experience inner peace and harmony in your life. And as you embody holiness, you will not only find fulfillment for yourself, but also create an environment of positivity and love around you. Remember, holiness is about consistency, about making small, meaningful choices every day. It's not about perfection, but about the intention to live with compassion, respect, and love in every moment. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more meaningful content on living positively and practicing holiness in everyday life. By subscribing, you'll join a community focused on living with purpose and intention, bringing more peace and love into the world.